A mistake on Barban's final lap in qualifying meant he was only able to line up in P4. Takubi led the field with a gap of a quarter of a second back to ICU. Smith was just 7 thousandths behind the second place driver and 200ths ahead of fourth place.
And we are underway racing here in Zandvoort. Takubi on pole position, getting a really nice launch here. ICU also getting away well. Barban's down the inside on Smith in towards turn number 1. It was a great launch from him, trying to fight his way up into P3 already, but everybody seems to have got through turn number 1 cleanly. Barban's already up into P3. Zyros fighting away with Swifty as well, trying to go around the outside on the bank and getting himself up into P5. Now we've got some yellow flags in the background. Looks like Rocket going a little bit slowly, but everybody has made their way through safely. And we've got a Williams off into the barrier. Orax losing the car, heading up the hill. And he's picked up some damage here on lap 1, dropping down the order. And that is him all the way down to the back of the field with damage. He's going to have to come in to fix that. But Takubi up at the front is leading us away half a second clear of ICU. Then Barban, Smith, Zyros, Orax already out of the race. And we have a safety car deployed here on lap number 1. It was a very, very strong race from him, so Zyros should be able to do something pretty similar, trying to move here on Bradders through the middle sector. Bradders with that front wing damage. Zyros now on the inside, trying to squeeze his way past the Ferrari. Looks like he will just about get this move done, but he's going to have to work for it around the outside, heading into the next DRS straight. Who has picked up the DRS? Zyros has got that rear wing open as they head now down towards turn number 11. Inside line on the brakes for the Ferrari driver, gets himself now ahead of Bradders. He's holding it, and he's gone now. We are racing once again here in Zandvoort. Barban's getting a pretty decent start, already trying to look for a move around the outside on the Red Bull. Picks up a bit of grass on the outside, but gets the car turned in just about. Holds on. No, Zyros is through, getting past the Aston Martin on the inside. Zyros up to P3 already. Barban still trying to hang on with the Ferrari on the inside of the banking, but Zyros up to P3. He is pushing hard here on this restart. Already all over the back of Smith as well as they make their way up the hill now through the middle sector. An amazing restart here as Takubi trying to go around the outside of Shan, gets the move done around the outside of 7. What a move from the V-Carb driver. That was a very, very confident move, trying to find his way past Jet. Is a bit of contact and he loses the rear end. That's going to cost him some time, but he still managed to keep going and for the time being holds on to that P6 position. ICU still leads out in front from Smith, then Zyros. What a restart from him. Barban's Jetters, then Takubi, Shan, Mars, then Rocket, and then Black Fridays as it stands, rounding out the top 10 positions. We have 10 more laps to go here in Zandvoort, and it's going to be an all-out brawl to see who's going to come out on top here in the Netherlands. Up at the race lead, here comes ICU once again for the overtake. Here comes Zyros now to get the P2 position. Zyros on a charge here to try and get the race win. Can he do this one? Barban's having a look on the inside of Smith. Can't quite find his way past the Red Bull, but now there's just one car between Zyros and the race lead. Zyros looks to have the pace in this final stint. Can he carry this momentum as they make their way through? 8 laps to go, and Barban's having a look alongside Smith as they make their way up the hill. He's going to try and go around the outside into turn 7, just about enough space left, but he couldn't quite get the move done. Maybe a switch back into turn 8. It's not usually an overtaking spot. Not really able to get the move done onto the brakes now into turn 9. Barban still trying to look for a way past the Red Bull. Can't quite find it, and now Jet is having a look down the inside on Barban's as well into the next brakes. No, Takubi's gone round the outside. What a move from the V-Carb driver. He's another driver on a chart. He's up into P5 now. He's got to keep pushing though if he wants to make these positions. Front of the field, can they hold on for the rest of this race, or are we going to see some drivers start to pull away at the front of the field? Takubi all over the back of Barban's down towards turn 1, sends the lunge down the inside, gets the car stopped, gets the rotation. Can Barban stick it around the outside, or is Takubi going to get enough acceleration? They're still wheel to wheel heading into the next braking zone and through turn 3 as well. Off the banking they go. Still wheel to wheel. It's going to be a drag race down towards turn 7. Takubi gets the better exit, and that should get him up into P4 though. They're still wheel to wheel heading down towards turn 7, but the V-Carb gets himself ahead. He's up into P4. He's got his eyes on the podium now as well. Only one more overtake he needs to make, and it's on the sister Red Bull car. Are we going to see another overtake for Takubi, our Season 1 champion, as he makes his way down towards Turn 7? He's gaining on the Rebel at a rapid rate. He's gaining, trying to now have a look to the inside of Turn 7. He's made a move around the outside earlier on. This time it's on the inside. Takubi up to P3. He is on a charge, and now there's only 2 more cars, Zyros and ICU, and then he's right in the front of this pack. He's ready to fight for the race win, as is Zyros, as is ICU, as is Smith, and as is Barmans. But Zyros and Takubi seem to have a pace advantage over the others that they just cannot compare. 4 laps to go here in Zandvoort. Zyros from ICU, but this is going to change once again. Here comes ICU, here comes Takubi in towards turn number 1. Takubi on the inside trying to fight his way through for this P2 position. Zyros looks like he'll stick it around the outside with a better exit, but Takubi is still there in towards turn number 2, gets the move on the inside, and he's up into P2 now. Zyros has to drop down into P3, and in the space of just a couple corners, he loses 2 positions, and Takubi is now right on the back of his Season 1 rival. It's going to be an all-out brawl for this final few laps. We've got 2 DRS zones to come. Don't forget, Zyros right on the back of ICU as well. We could still see some late moves here in the final stages of this race, but Takubi is half a second ahead now. He's starting to pull away, and ICU makes the mistake. There's contact. ICU is spun round. Zyros into P2. Smith, no, through into P2, but Takubi holding the race lead. He's almost a second clear. He's done an amazing job in this race. ICU tumbles all the way down the order and outside the points, but nobody has been able to challenge Smith on the challenge Takubi on this final lap. Smith gonna not be able to challenge him despite getting the DRS, and Takubi, for the first time since Austria in Season 1, he wins the Zandvoort Grand Prix. Smith comes home in P2, Zyros picks up P3, Barmans misses out on the podium by 16 thousandths of a second. It was such fine margins across the line. Jetters picks up P5, Black Friday's in P6, Mars comes home P7, Berkey P8, Shan P9, Shuriken P10, fastest lap as well for Takubi. It's maximum points, and it's a long time coming as well. Season 1 Austria.
The race saw an early safety car deployment after Aurex crashed out on lap 1. The only cars to choose to pit did so to repair damage, and the race continued on lap 4 with an incident-packed safety car restart. A DRS train quickly formed between the first 7 cars, with Takubi and ICU regularly trading places in the race lead. Takubi picked up a 10-second penalty for pit lane speeding during his pit stop, but luckily a lap 23 safety car enabled him to serve the penalty. He fought his way back to second place, then a last lap overtake on ICU saw him take the race lead. A mistake on the final lap dropped ICU out of the points, and Takubi came across the line first, taking the win from Smith and Zyros. Post-race penalties dropped both Zyros and Smith down the order, allowing Barmans and Jetters to take the remaining podium positions.